April is the holy month of white supremacy. However, you couldn't tell by the L's that they've been taking this month. They've been taking L after L after L, and this is becoming a pattern that is very dangerous for the system of white supremacy.
The price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Black first, my brothers and my sisters, welcome to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. I'm your host, Afro Elite. My voice is better, okay? Not all the way, but it is better, and I appreciate you guys. All y'all been sending me so many good get well soon stuff like that, and I appreciate y'all like tremendously for that. Like it's been tremendous, and my voice is recovering. I appreciate every single last one of you all for sending me like the good well wishes and all of that stuff. And it's not like I was sick, but that stuff means a lot. It really does. So thank you all for that. As you can tell, my voice is still a little, could be better, but by tomorrow, everything's going to be great. But we got business to handle. We have much to discuss because white supremacy has taken a major L, okay? So much so that they're calling people turncoats, nigga lovers, all of that stuff. We got a lot to discuss. But before we do that, guess what we got to do? I think y'all know what we got to do now. But before we do any and all of that, what we got to do is we got to play the copyright disclaimer to make sure that everything that we play thus forth is under the guise of fair use. So as I'm doing that, I would greatly appreciate if you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, notification button, hit that chat room, all of that stuff while we play this disclaimer so we can protect the interest of the channel. All right, here we go. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, so before we get started, let's discuss something, right? So I don't want to, because we're having more information going on as the case progresses or as the situation progresses. We don't have really any more updates. There has been a video. We have not seen the video, so we don't have any more updates. But the family did do a press conference, and the family did a press conference because of all of the death threats and all of the harassment that the family has been going through. And what we have here is we have Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff Metcalf, decided to show up during the press conference. Before they really got started with the press conference, Jeff Metcalf decided to show up. Not only did he decide to show up, Jeff Metcalf's father, or Austin Metcalf's father, didn't want to leave. And he was escorted out of the building by police. Now, we have a couple of pictures of that. Let me show you. Let me pull that up real quick. And this is something that we've been talking about before. There's something interesting going on with that family. And I'm going to show you what I posted before. Let me share the screen real fast for you guys. All right, here we go. So this is what I have here. Minimize that. I can do it like that. So these are the pictures. This is him showing up. For what reason? Now, I don't know if he thought he was hiding under those sunglasses, because as you can see here, he doesn't have the sunglasses on. So it's not like he just wears sunglasses all the time. He doesn't have the sunglasses on. But I guess he thinks he's hiding with the sunglasses on. Somebody can tell him he is not Clark Kent. This man is not Superman. You cannot put no glasses on and people don't know who you are, sir. That's not how that works. All right. But he got the sunglasses on. This is the video of the police talking to him. The police are trying to get some information, because it's not like the second he got there, they immediately threw him out the building like, oh, go to hell. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. Right? And then he is eventually escorted out the building. He's escorted out the building, right? So what I had to say about this was, Carmelo Anthony's family had a press conference to tell the public about the racist threats that they've received, things that we all know, things that have been confirmed. We've all seen these threats. Jeff Metcalf, the father of Austin Metcalf, came to harass the family, and he clearly did. He came there because he knew for a fact that his presence there was going to be disturbing. He knew that his presence there was going to be unsettling. He came there with no other intention but to create conflict. He knew that coming there is confrontational to the family. It continues, and then I continue to say, we're seeing patterns of disrespectful, entitled, and unhinged behavior from the Metcalf family. And a lot of people are saying, get this off the screen for a second for you guys. A lot of people are, why am I not on the screen? A lot of people are saying, like, okay, is this behavior indicative of the Metcalf family? Is this how y'all roll? Is this y'all get down all the time? Y'all just kind of throw y'all weight around? Y'all just feel entitled? Why is disrespectful? Because this family is facing threats. This isn't a public press conference. It's indoors. This was a private press conference so they can dispel a lot of the fake narratives about them using the GoFundMe or the Gifts and Go money to buy houses and cars and live lavish lives and stuff like that, and about the threats that's been going on. All right. Threats that the police has not addressed. Keep this in mind. The police has not addressed the threats that's been going on, even though they should. Okay. The father's there for no reason but to harass. So I think it's very telling. I think that this was actually very telling that he was there, and then he refused to leave. He had no purpose for being there. Even if he didn't come with malice intent, it was an unwise decision because the families are going through an investigation right now. They're currently going through an investigation. It's not smart to be there because at any second, you being there and the family being there, it's going to be conflict. It's a high probability of there being conflict with you being there, unannounced. Nobody even knew you were coming. It would be one thing if you were there with them, but you're not there with them. You're there because they're having a press conference talking about the racial threats, and you are there because you don't want them to get out there. You don't want them to have the narrative out where they're being harassed. You don't want them to be able to speak about the harassment that they've been facing. That's the only thing that really makes sense. It's the only thing. I'm going to play a clip of the press conference, a little bit of the press conference. Hold on. Let me show it to you guys real quick. Appreciate everybody in here. Thank you guys for liking. Okay, hold on. Here we go. There we go. I had missed.
In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Carmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous...
Now, everything she's saying can be confirmed. And it's so much so that the actual judge had to boost her security. So if she's making this up, people like, oh, you exaggerating, you trying to make yourself out to be the victim. Nobody can say what she's saying is incorrect, though, because everybody has seen it. Everybody knows. Hurricane, I appreciate you. I already see the trolls in the chat room.
Previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what might happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a 2-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution, we believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair.
Well, okay. So that was the press conference. The reason you're not getting the reason why there's a court of public opinion that has automatically deemed you guilty from day one is because Carmelo is black and his family is black, and that's the reason why you're getting threatened, because you're black. All right. But you have now, with that plus the dad coming out there essentially making a scene and being kicked out, that was a real bad look for them. So you have folks out there like Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly had something to say about it. So I just, because you already heard the press conference, so I just heard the right there, so you can see this is her immediate response to that.
What might happen to her?
I'm sorry, but that is as a result of what her son did.
The first thing out of her mouth should have been about the victim. Really should have been. I think the other thing that struck me about that statement she gave was it's passive language. This tragic incident. It's not a tragic incident. It was an aggressive, fatal act taken by your son that took the life of another 17-year-old. You have to, it's all about owning stuff in this culture. Why can't you just own? I'm sorry. And also, don't they live in a gated community right now?
No, right now, yes. So they have reportedly, according to the Daily Mail, moved into a $900,000 home where they're being allowed to stay by somebody in a gated community while they scream racism.
They're waiting on $500,000 to become liquid from their GoFundMe or whatever?
Yes, and while their son, who the vast majority of defendants in Texas would be in jail without bond right now,
100%.
But he's out on bond.
Got it lowered.
Some female judge lowered it and said, oh.
And she pointed out the female judge because that's her little shot at DEI. That's why she said that. Some female judge, she wanted to call her the N-word, but she couldn't do that.
Okay, I'll let him stay at home on house arrest in his $1 million friend's home, I guess. I don't think it's theirs. And while they're screaming, we're all racists. Because that guy speaks for them. That don't
Okay, well, that don't mean y'all not racist. That don't make it y'all not racist.
Alexander guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She didn't have that much. She just had a little bit. Who said something way worse than that? Listen. Okay. They moved because their address was leaked online. And the whole family, not just Carmelo, was in danger because their address was leaked online. So now they had to move to another place in a gated community where people can't just pull up out their house like that. That's why. All right. Now let's listen to what Tatum had to say about it.
This is going to be him actually getting escorted. This man just said.
Now, remember, before we go there, remember what I said. Austin's father had no reason to be there. There was no reason for Austin's father to be there. It's not appropriate. This, I could almost give it some type of pass. Maybe he's doing this to heal. If this was after the whole thing, after the trial, after whatever the case is, but there is an ongoing investigation between Carmelo and the prosecutor, I guess the state, technically. It's an ongoing investigation. None of the families should be around each other right now. If the family is doing a press conference, you shouldn't be there because your presence there causes a scene. It causes a disturbance. Now, when Jeff Metcalf and his family, when they were doing press conferences, you didn't see Carmelo's family there. You didn't see them there. They respected that and totally left them alone. But this is what Tatum had to say about it. Listen to this.
It's going to be him actually getting escorted. This man just said that they're trying to make it about race. He said in his last press conference that I made a video about that it's everything to do with racism and that they're not going to give him a fair trial. And it's the reason why he's representing Carmelo Anthony is because black people don't get a fair shake. He's made it about race. He compared it to white boys that got off talking about, what is his name? I forget his name. Kyle Rittenhouse. He brought up race. And then the white man came to say, let's be united. Both of our children are affected in this situation. I have compassion for he.
Okay. So now he's out here saying that the father, Jeff Metcalf, the father of Austin, came to be united with the other family because there's no reason, there's no justification, there's really no rationale as to why Jeff Metcalf was there, nor did Jeff Metcalf ever state why he was there. Okay? Tatum is out here trying to, because he doesn't want the white people to look bad at all. He tries to create some type of justification for every single thing they do. So now he's saying he came there because he wanted a hug. He came there looking for love, and he was turned away by these hateful blacks. That's not why Jeff Metcalf was there. Because if he was there and he only came for peace, why, when he was asked to leave, did he not leave? To the point where he had to get escorted. And a whole bunch of people like, well, he didn't stab nobody. Well, no, because he got the people told the proper authorities, and he was escorted out of a place he actually should not have been. He wasn't supposed to be there. And he has no justification as to why he's there. So now Tatum is sitting up there making it seem like he came there to reconcile with the family. That's not why he was there. Jeff Metcalf is not even saying that's why he was there. This is all Tatum who's saying this.
Listen, Metcalf didn't kill Carmelo Anthony. So his dad showing up is a sign of unity that he wants to heal and be one community, which I think was stupid. But his dad showing up like that to me was an appeal to say, let's work through this together as a community.
No, it ain't. Oh my God. Okay.
Negroes don't want to do that with you. They want their 15 minutes of fame. They want their money. They want their justice. They want revenge. So when that white man came, this is how they treated him. You would think that this was the killer's family that showed up. I get it. Your son killed my son. Y'all talk all that trash. I don't want you hearing my thing. But they son killed his son. White people, I'm telling you, stop capitulating to black foolery. They ain't never gonna like you. They ain't never gonna be supportive of you. Secretly, they hate you. I've been black my whole life. I grew up in a black neighborhood. I know how a lot of black people think. Not every black person, but a lot of black people think. They secretly hate you. You let a situation rise up, they gonna pick the black person, right or wrong. This is what's happening right here. Roll it.
Have we ever, now he's just gonna play the clip and then that's just gonna be that. Have we ever seen, I'm just asking, because I haven't. I haven't been alive that long, but have we ever seen a situation where it was a black and white conflict, where the person who was clearly in the wrong was white. And then majority of white people said, you know what? I don't see color. The white person's in the wrong. So I'm going to be on the side of the black person. I haven't seen that. I don't know if you have seen that. I don't think we've seen that in history before. I mean, the most obvious situation I could possibly think of, just the most obvious one I could possibly think of, is George Floyd. I can't think of a situation more obvious because that was caught on camera. We have a bunch of social media. It went super viral. And you had majority of them, not all, but majority of them were all like, well, it looks like a fentanyl overdose to me. I see it all the time, and that's exactly what it looks like. It doesn't look like the knee on his neck for several minutes had anything to do with it at all, you know. And plus, he had a criminal record 10 years ago, so what does that matter? They did that. Name a situation where white people have not all just defaulted on the white person's side. They are the ones who always do that, right or wrong, not black people. We're the most non-biased people here, to be honest with you. They're the ones all like, well, don't matter. White is right, according to them. Then he says something even worse. But let me get to this super chat from my brother Ayo. Says B1 family from Virginia. B1 from Virginia. Brother, thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. But then he says something that we already played what the mother had said. He says something I think was way more out of line than that.
Leave an absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her.
Time out. I'm not trying to stop mama. This is ridiculous. I get people threaten me all the time. There is no credible threats against these people. When y'all.
Excuse you? Oh, I have to stop her. I get threats all the time. There's no credible threats against her. First off, it's not just against her. It's against the whole family, including the children. All right? You getting threats. Now, here's the thing. And let me be very clear with this before I play. I'm full screen here. Here is the thing. I get threats too. All right? I get threats from the white liberals and the white conservatives, okay? Threats all the time. I'm not sitting up here justifying threats towards me. I'm not even justifying threats towards Brandon Tatum. But here is the thing. When you get online and you talk about political or controversial issues, we understand when we do this because nobody's making us do this. I understand this. I knew this when I started. Tatum understands this. He understands this because he knows what he's doing. We understand when we get on here and we start talking about controversial and political issues and we have strong stances in these things, we understand that this unfortunately comes with the territory. I don't think anybody should be threatening even him. I don't condone any threats towards him or anybody who has a different political or ideological belief than I do. All right. I don't condone that. But we do understand that this is what comes with the territory. When you are a voice online for your community and all of this, we understand. And it's bad. I'm not justifying it. I'm not condoning it. But that is a very different situation than somebody threatening to do harmful and terrible things to a 13-year-old child who's not involved, a family who's not involved. They didn't step into political activism and social activism and everything like that and say, well, you know, this does come with the territory. No, these people are not the same. You can't say, well, I mean, people threaten to kill me, so why can't they threaten to kill you? That's not the same. I would never say that. You got a whole mother crying about her 13-year-old daughter having nightmares and be all like, well, I mean, people threaten to kill me too, so what? This is how insensitive he is. that he can't even have the dignity and decency to say that what they're going through is wrong. He can't even say that. That's how far gone he is.
Y'all's address have been out there for I don't know how long. Show me a single person that showed up at your house.
Okay, listen to this.
Yeah, people threaten me all the time. There is no credible threats against these people. When some y'all's address have been out there for I don't know how long, show me a single person that showed up at your house. Show me a person that showed up at your house, though. Show me a person that's actually made a threat at the school. Your kids still going to school. Y'all not out for spring break.
Okay.
They still going to school. Show me a credible threat.
Hold on. No. First off, they don't have to show that to you. We already see. We see all of this stuff online. We see this stuff. They're not. We know for a fact that they're not making any of this stuff up. We know this for a fact. They're not making this up. Why would anybody go to their house? They've moved. When their address got leaked, they had to move to a gated community. Let's circle into what a gated community is. A gated community is there. That means it's a gate, and you have to have permission by one of the residents that live within this community, which isn't very big, and they have to let the gate know to let you in, and then you can come in. So you're not going to have a bunch of strangers pulling up at your house because you have to have permission in order to even enter into the community in the first place. So yeah, nobody's showing up at your house because yeah, you moved. And why does anybody have to show up at their house? I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna let it finish. So you mean to tell me people can threaten to do things, people can post your picture because he can't deny that their address was leaked. He can't deny that. He can't deny the mother even said the father's employer's address, his former employer's address was leaked. They're just leaking addresses left and right. They know where they work and all of this stuff. The family's been completely doxxed. He can't justify that. And all he's saying is, well, I mean, until somebody actually kidnaps you, I don't see no threat here at all. Okay, well, let's let him continue though. Let's let him continue because I got some more to say.
At the school, where they had to shut the school down because somebody done made a threat at the school. Y'all making your kids feel like they not safe. Nobody coming after y'all. Your son killed somebody else. Ain't nobody mad at you. Your son is a killer. Whether you like it or not, he still killed somebody. And they come on it. This is why I don't respect this.
Now, the whole thing about, well, ain't nobody pulled up at the school. Well, damn, do you want something? It sounds like it's a dog whistle. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be 110% honest with you. 1,000% honest with you. That sounds like a little dog whistle to me. It sounds like he's talking to somebody who might be like, that actually sounds like a good idea. Now, here's his problem. You putting this out there. Now, what happens is because you put this out there, somebody actually does have the idea to go to one of the schools. And the kids are probably being dropped off by security or any of that stuff right now, too. There's probably security in the school or whatever the case is. If we know, does he even know they're still going to school right now? He doesn't even know if the kids are still going to school. But that to me sounds like a dog. I'm not going to lie to you. It sounds like a dog whistle, like hey, ain't nobody attacked the school yet looking for him. Now listen to this. Let's continue.
Because I guarantee you the same amount of threats and intimidation that's going at her family is probably going at Metcalf family just as well. People are so vitriolic against white folks that they raised $500,000 for this kid. You think people ain't talking trash online? They kicked his daddy out of there. Metcalf dad came, they escorted him out of the building. You telling me there ain't vitriolic behavior going in the other direction? These white people ain't moving because they getting threats and all this other stuff. There is no credible threat that I can hear, I have seen or anything that will make a real determination that they have to move out of their house and that he has to take a mental health leave of absence.
First off, it's not up to you at all. Second of all, if the Metcalf family is going through any type of threats or anything like that, I don't condone that. I condemn that. That's terrible. We're not out here wishing harm or wishing bad on the Metcalf family. Let's be very clear with that. We're not out here celebrating the demise of the Metcalf family. We're not doing that. But we all been online. We all see where the hate is going. We all know who's been doxxed. We all know whose address has been leaked and whose employer's address has been leaked. They track the cars and all that stuff. Let me ask you a question. Y'all know what car that the Carmelo and Anthony family drives. What car does Austin Metcalf's family drive? Okay. Now, there might be some people who know, okay. But it's not all over the internet. Their information is not all over the internet because we, as black people who are not vitriolic like Tatum is trying to talk about, we are not out here trying to attack the Metcalf family. We're not out here doing that. Now, are they receiving some threats? I'm not going to even deny that anybody is receiving threats, especially when the situation is going on like that. Probably everybody does. Are we going to say it's proportionate? Hell no. There's no way you can say it's proportionate. We can see where all of the attacks are going. So much so that the damn judge has to get more protection, all because she lowered the bail. She just lowered the bail to something reasonable, and now she's being threatened as well too. And he even acknowledges that. So all of that, well, and the reason why they're doing that, the reason why he's doing that is because he can't dismiss fully the threats. He can't say that there are no threats. He can't do that. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to belittle and water down all of the threats. First off, he tried to belittle it by saying, well, show me where there's a credible threat. Show me where there's a credible threat. Did anybody blow up a school? Show me where there's a credible. That's belittling the threat. Because here's the thing. You don't even know if nobody pulled up at their house. The address has been leaked. Probably nobody's pulled up because they're not there. And then now he's trying to do a false equivalence by saying, well, the Austin Metcalf family, who has not claimed at all to be under racial threats like the Anthony family has, they're probably going through the same thing. You're just guessing at this point because you're trying to create a false equivalent to belittle the threats that the Austin family is going through. That's what he's trying to do. But he keeps going.
Your mental health is deteriorating because your son may go to prison for the rest of his life. That's why your mental health is deteriorating. It's not the threats. Mama ain't crying up here because her daughter is scared, because your son might do life. That's like dying. Why we gotta be fake? You sad because your boy may do life in prison, which is horrifying. But they gearing it towards, and this is my opinion, they're gearing it towards, I need to make this appeal so we can get the jurors on our side and the public can feel some type of way. I heard that they haven't even used the GoFundMe money yet.
They haven't even used the GoFundMe money. Now that's something we've been talked about. Now everybody's trying to follow back on that. Hold on for a second. Hold on for 1 second, y'all. I just got to finish downloading something. Okay. Download this clip real quick. Now, all of this, we absolutely, black people hate white people. All of this rhetoric that there's just some violence going on the black people's behalf and it's towards white people. they're trying to use this situation, which is a tragic situation, but they're trying to use this situation to spew this completely false narrative that black people are out here hunting white people, and society, because of white guilt, has made this open season on all white people, and white people are just falling victim to the black revenge spree that's going on in this country that does not exist. Listen to this. This is what Matt Walsh had to say about it. Matt Walsh, I think his name is, had to say about it.
Incredible to watch the sheer brazen.
Hold on, play back.
Again, it's just incredible to watch the sheer brazenness of this whole display. They're not just treating this murdering thug like a celebrity, they're also flaunting it. They want you to know that having killed a white kid, Anthony is being treated like, Kobe Bryant or something. They want to send the message to other black kids that they'll get the same treatment if they decide to shank a white student at their school.
Oh, God. Okay. Now, don't they tell us we shouldn't racialize this? Now, they're telling us we shouldn't racialize this, and he's saying that they're treating him like Kobe Bryant, and they're telling other kids, they're promoting white violence to other kids, and they're telling their kids you can be treated like a celebrity if you shank a white kid at school. Okay. That's interesting. It's interesting he said that, because I would agree that you should absolutely not be treated like a celebrity for taking somebody's life. Under no circumstance. Let's agree. Let's agree. And it's completely unprecedented. I can't think of a single time when somebody was treated like a celebrity for killing somebody else. What is this country coming to? I just can't believe that this is happening in America today. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't see this pop up on my screen. Oh, I guess we do have a time where somebody was treated like a damn celebrity for taking somebody's life. Do you guys remember how George Zimmerman was out here signing people's Skittles and Confederate flags and getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars? Do you guys know he actually sold the gun he used to murder Trayvon Martin? He sold that for $250,000. Go look that up. This man is out here signing Confederate flags and signing Skittles like he's a celebrity. You want to talk about somebody being treated like they're Kobe Bryant? You want to talk about somebody being treated like they're Kobe Bryant? That would be George Zimmerman. And you want to talk about, well, black people, we just have this hatred. We have this hatred for white people, and we just don't know why. There's so much revenge and all that stuff we have for. No. We're not out here looking for the knife. And was like, oh, please, I want to buy this knife so bad. The knife that killed Austin, please, I want to buy it. I'll spend my life savings. I'll spend $250,000 on a knife. Nobody's out here doing that. But they did that with George Zimmerman. And these same people, they didn't say the whole, this is going to perpetuate further violence against another community of people. They're not out here saying that. Now, that is actually what happened, because these are the people. Look at their face. This fat ass dude, he's looking like he's actually with a celebrity. George Zimmerman is getting paid. This is after the trial. Y'all want to talk about a damn give, send, go. This is after the trial, and he's being walked around. He got security. He got security, including law enforcement. It's not just private security, y'all, including law enforcement. A lot of people are like, well, why didn't nothing happen to Zimmerman? Y'all should have did something to Zimmerman. Yeah, Zimmerman was damn near being protected by the damn Secret Service close to. George Zimmerman was damn near being protected by the Secret Service at a certain point. That's how much security was watching him and looking out for him. He was not putting, excuse me, y'all, I'm sorry. He was not out here putting flyers, letting everybody know where he was going to be. That's not what he was doing. He was having little private events and stuff like that. And only small little enclaves of white supremacists knew where he was going to be. But it's interesting that Matt Walsh is out here talking like that. They're out here spewing all of this. There's going to be a crazy attack on white people. And you got some Karen. Y'all, let me show you this. You got some Karen out here saying the same. Oh, Lord. And let me show you this. Let me show you all this. This lie.
Show up. One of them
crazy attack on white people is just so incredibly outrageous and egregious. It's just crazy.
with masks had to show up. One of them pepper sprayed a guy that's peacefully protesting, and they got arrested. But here's the thing: 350,000 white people were killed at the hands of black people last year, and black people only make up 13% of the population, and we're not allowed to talk about.
Hold on. Let me circle that back. Let me just circle that back real quick. Did you guys hear the number she gave? Did y'all hear the number? Let's listen to the number one more time, shall we? Let's listen to the number one more time.
1,000 white people were killed at the hands of black people last year. But here's the thing: 350,000 white people were killed at the hands of black people last year.
They're out here just making it up. They out here just, I can't even say anything about that. Where are you getting that from? That's not true. That's not close to true. That's not close to being true. If that was slightly, remotely, somewhat, kind of a little bit close to being true, we wouldn't have these statistics that show that black people are the number one victims of hate crimes by all metrics, by every statistic. Year after year after year after year. We wouldn't be having this if there was some type of open season on white people by black people, and the only people who are defending us are the shameful guilt of white people, the liberals, the race trading liberal. That's not true. She said 350,000 white people were killed by black people. Where is she getting that from? Where? She just said a number. She just said a number. Okay, this is how far they're gone to push this propaganda that white lives are under attack. This is how far they're going. Listen to it.
Black people only make up 13% of the population, and we're not allowed to talk about it because if we do, we're considered racist, because things that happened 100 years ago that we weren't even responsible for are getting put off on us. So yeah, it's time to talk about the alarming statistics because it's true, and we're tired of being oppressed and not being able to talk about it because somehow we're the superior being, and we are not. We are victims at the hands of minorities. And then we have these white liberal crazy people that sit and agitate it and make it worse. But we're not going to be quiet anymore. Very real thing. I walked in a room one day and there was a table of black women sitting there, and I waved and smiled, and they just looked at me like, why the fuck are you saying hi to me? It happens all the time. We're not going to be quiet about this anymore. Everybody should come together and be treated accordingly.
Yo. Can we get some violins in the chat room? Can we get some violins in the chat room? Oh, I think I might be starting to see why she's so upset now. So, according to her, she walked in and there was a table full of black women just off in the distance. She said hi. And then they just looked at her. They gave her the evil stank eye, just looked menacingly. She didn't say they said that. She didn't say they actually said, why the F are you here? She said they just looked. They just looked at her with a bad look, a look of stank, and I don't want to say hi back to you. And then she says, like, why can't we just come together? Why can't we just come together? I just don't understand. I waved at her to say hi, and they didn't wave to say hi back. I want you guys to understand that That is the extent of white racism. That is the top of the echelon of what they call white racism. When they talk, anytime they actually go into detail about what white racism is, they bring up, okay, well, there was one time, okay, I was standing in line, all right, and I said, excuse me, because my basket was heavy and I wanted to put it on the conveyor belt, and she said, my stuff is here. And I just felt so attacked. I felt like my whiteness was holding me up. They always do that. It's always something so small and minuscule. You don't know. They might not have seen you wave hi. Why are you jumping to the conclusion that they're racist? Why do you see race? Maybe they didn't see race. Maybe they just didn't want to say hi back. Why are y'all making everything about race? This is the extent of white racism. Anytime you say, oh, well, you're a victim of white racism. Yes, I am. I'm a victim of white racism, and nobody wants to talk about it. Okay, sir, tell me what racist experience you've dealt with a black person. Okay, I'll tell you. It's hard for me to tell you this. I'll tell you though. Okay, one time, I was sorry. I was 15 years old, and I was out playing basketball with a group of the blacks, and they didn't want to pass the ball to me. And I felt like they didn't want my white hands to touch the basketball. I cried for days. I'm sorry. But I just can't believe it. I can't. They didn't pass me the ball. And I was like, hey, I'm open. And they didn't pass one single time. Those damn niggers, I can't believe it. That's the extent of their white racism. That is white racism, okay? When you talk about what experience have white people gone through, that's what they say. That is what they say. I was leaving the school, and there was a black person, and he had the ability to hold the door open, okay? And I had my book bag in one hand, all right? And he just didn't hold the door open, and I felt like he would have did it if I was a black, but he didn't do it because I'm a white guy, and my blonde hair holds me back in society. And this dude's probably there because of DEI anyway. I hate him. You know, that's what they do. That's what they do. That's what they do. Lord have mercy, the white tears. They out here putting false propaganda. Then you got this guy out here. He's posting up a bunch of fake statistics. This is one of the fake statistics. Excuse me. He posted on Twitter or X saying white on black violent crimes 59,778. Black on white violent crimes 547,948. And where's this number coming from? What source are you getting this data from? What source are you getting this data from? He didn't cite us. This is just a meme. He's not citing this from any credible source at all, because we all know that this isn't true. It's just not true. That's just not how society in this country is operating. It's not true at all. Let me pull this one clip up. Hold on. So he wound up having a conversation, a thing with, you'd be very surprised to see. What's this guy's name? I cannot believe I forgot this man's damn name. What is his name? Hold on. I forget this man's name. Oh, Jason Whitlock. I'm tripping. Jason Whitlock. Okay. This man had a whole conversation with Jason Whitlock. And listen to this, y'all.
Welcome.
Well, actually, before we get to that, let me get to these super chats. Okay. Oh, J Boy says Tatum is a butthead. He's racist on to his own. He is. He definitely is. Okay. YGLTB1 says Tatum is a broken tool in the making. He keeps saying black folks don't like you, and he is an as if hold on. Black folks don't like you as if he has absolved himself from our community. Yeah, like he's not black. He doesn't believe white supremacy exists. We are standing by Carmelo based on the current evidence to date and not because he's black. Excuse me. Very correct. It's very correct. We're not like, well, a black person can do no wrong, so we're just going to side with a black person. We are actually looking at the evidence that we have. We're looking at the situation. We're looking at the law, and we're saying, first off, this is a crazy reach to say this is first degree at all. And based off the evidence that we have here, this is self-defense. Y'all not even trying to bring up Tatum and them, not even trying to bring up all the evidence because they keep trying to skip over the fact that Austin put his hands multiple times on Carmelo. He kept putting his hands on Carmelo after multiple warnings. He's not going to bring that up, or he doesn't like to bring that up. So we're just standing by justice. That's all we're doing. Alonda says, Afro, you petty like 50 Cent. Yeah, I can be petty. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, I got my moments. I can be petty. I can be petty. I can. And I love it too. I love being petty. I don't do it that often, but I do love it when I do.
Back to the program. Jake, I want to hear your explanation about why you're leading this protest. I think they're saying the video or the audio is fine, but the video cuts in and out a little bit. Jake, why are you leading this protest in Frisco, Texas tomorrow?
Jason, thanks for having me on. You know, normally I'm very jovial when I join your program, just getting out of prison 86 days ago from a presidential pardon.
So you know, Jake was a part of the January 6th insurrection. Okay.
This is a type of thing where justice needs to be served. In this case, we have a killer on the loose, which you have said multiple times here.
On the loose. He's on house arrest. They make it seem like he stabbed Austin and nobody found him since then. He's just been roaming the streets and nobody knows his whereabouts. We know his whereabouts. He's on house arrest. He's in the house.
Here, this man killed Austin Metcalf in cold blood. And there used to be sacred honor amongst men, a time where we could grieve, where the public could gather together and show up and show support for senseless violence. This is senseless violence. And they have stolen that from us. Part of this.
Oh, you mean the time when white folks used to come and lynch black people? Are you talking about that time? Notice the little dog whistle he says.
Just getting out of prison 86 days ago from a presidential pardon. This is a type of thing where justice needs to be served. In this case, we have a killer on the loose, which you have said multiple times here. This man killed Austin Metcalf in cold blood. And there used to be sacred honor amongst men, a time where we could grieve, where the public could gather together and show up and show support for senseless violence. This is senseless violence. And they have stolen that from us. Part of the PSYOP with January 6th was to try to turn people away from exercising their God-given rights. And that's what we're doing today. We're standing up. I am a white American. I am Jewish by bloodline, Christian by faith. And I understand that my community, there are millions of white Americans out there living in fear every day of being terrorized. Every single day I turn on my X feed and I see hundreds of videos of young black women and men attacking, gang beating, curb stomping, robbing, and terrorizing the white Americans. And I have to stand up as a leader of my community and address this for what it is. If it
Wait, I muted myself. Hold on. My bad. I was muted. Just cut off. No. Just the fact that sorry. Don't know what's that about. The fact that he was pardoned from January 6th is a show of white privilege. That's an indication of white privilege right there. You got Black Panthers who did less, who are still in prison today from the 1970s, the 60s and 70s, who are still in prison. You got people from the what y'all call the Black Lives Matter protest still in prison. Okay. Every day you see a white person getting curved. He can't show it because it doesn't exist. But okay.
There were just a couple cases left or right here or there. We could, kind of chalk it up to a violent issue in America. But there is statistical data, factual data, 12 times the amount of Black people robbing white people as the opposite way. That is a systemic issue that needs to be addressed and needs to be talked about for what it is. We cannot tiptoe around the issue. If we want to solve the culture of Black violence in America, this violent hip-hop gang culture, we need to name it for what it is. And as a white American myself, I have so much love for my community. I am very worried about the people in my community being assaulted. I also have love for the Black community, and that's why I'm not just calling out this protest and this gathering with hatred, but we have consistently said we want to uplift the Black community.
Listen closely to what he's about to say now.
Return the modesty, the dignity, the love that they used to share with the white community of the Martin Luther King era, where they wore suits, they went to church, they had this great atmosphere about them.
Hold on. He wants to return to the era of Martin Luther King, where Black people had this abundance of love for white people, where we wore suits and all that. Hold on. First off, the whole, well, Black people used to wear suits. Black people don't wear suits today. Everybody, excuse me, every adult male in America was wearing essential business outfits daily. That was really the American attire at the time for an adult male. So the narrative that Black people, excuse me, God, I got some tea, y'all. I'm gonna be better. The narrative that Black people are less sophisticated now because we don't wear suits on a daily basis like the 1960s. During the 1960s, it was very casual for pretty much every adult male, white, Black, all of them, to wear button-ups and suits and stuff like that. Nowadays, nobody does that unless that's your job. Unless your job makes you wear professional attire. Back in the day, everybody was doing that off the rip. So that's taken out of context. But you want to go back to the day of Martin Luther King. The same Martin Luther King that white people killed. The same Martin Luther King that white people hated. But okay, it's a different time now. It's a different time. And there's newer white people. I'm very curious to see what his opinion might be on reparations. Since he loves Martin Luther King so much, I want to know what Martin Luther King, what he thought of reparations. What does he think of reparations? If he loves Martin Luther King so much and he wants to go and back to the days of Martin Luther King and back to the glory days, and he speaks of Martin Luther King, what does he think of reparations? What do you think he thinks of reparations?
It's completely gone. There's a degenerate culture that is pervasive in a large majority of Black Americans, and we need to address it as white Americans and say, please stop predatorizing. And please is a nice word. We're demanding, we're making a show of strength and a love of unity, demanding in the white community, stop predatorizing white Americans. You have been brainwashed, the Black community in by and large, not your audience, the Black conservatives that watch your program, which is an amazing program, have nothing really to do with what we're talking about. But the other, I would say, all of the people who voted for Kamala Harris, which 97% of Black women voted for Kamala Harris and over 80% of Black men, those
no, 97% of Black women actually didn't. It was 92% of the Black women who voted for her. 97% of all Black women did not vote for Kamala Harris. All right. Neither did the 80+% of Black men.
voters, that population, I am addressing those people today. They have ingrained inside their own youth by propping up athletes, ball players, rappers, and other basically people that are living for the moment, not trying to sew in any type of longevity. There is a epidemic of immediate gratification in the Black community. No one is willing to go to college, buy businesses, and it will by and large and build into their community. As soon as one of these rappers or ball players gets any money, they move out of their community and they move into a white community, and they bring this degenerate culture with them.
And we hear this a lot. Well, why are the Black rappers not giving back to the community? A lot of them actually do, to be very honest. A lot of them actually do. A lot of them actually do. They don't live there. No. They're not going to live there. If I'm making however much money you make right now, let's say you made in the next year or so 5 to 10 times that. 5 to 10 times however much money you're making right now. You'd probably not live in the same place. If you're living in an apartment or a house, if you're making, excuse me, Lord, if you're making 10 times as much money, however much money your taxes are, if you make 10 times that much money, you're probably not going to live in the same place. Plus, I have a question. Because we criticize Black rappers for this, right? Can somebody please tell me what Eminem has done to benefit the white community? What has Eminem done? Yeah, I do have allergies. It's unfortunate. I've been dealing with it my whole life. What has Eminem done? Because if we're gonna talk about the Black rappers, fine. If we're talking about it, fine. What has Eminem or Vanilla Ice or Macklemore or Jack Harlow or whoever else? I don't know. Not too many of them, really. What have they done to benefit the white community? Okay, because Eminem didn't come up with money. He came up in a very poor neighborhood and all that. When he got money, he moved out. That's the same thing you're criticizing Black rappers for. White rappers and celebrities and athletes do the same thing. And they give white celebrities, actors, rappers, music artists get absolutely excuse me, no pushback. They get absolutely no pushback at all for not contributing back to their community. None. Nobody calls them out. Nobody says, why didn't you move? Why don't you still live in the trailer parks? Why don't you still live on the poor side of town? Nobody. They get to get on. They get to blow up. They get to become great. They get to become grand, all of that stuff. Nobody criticizes them for not giving back to the community. but yet black rappers and athletes and all of that stuff, we got to be held to the standard of either we can't leave the community. We can't leave, and we got to spend all of the money to, I guess, get everybody out the hood without leaving the hood also. Okay. That's very interesting.
And eventually it is spreading out into the suburbs. It's spreading out into all of America. We are not safe. The white people in America are not safe right now. And we need to address and build with the black community to restore peace and honor.
First off, I gotta say something else. I gotta say something else. Was he not just talking about how black people used to wear suits? He was talking about how black people used to wear suits, right? And how he wants us to return from this degenerate culture that we're currently living in today and go back to wearing suits, right? Why is this man wearing a wife beater? Did he not know he was going to do an interview? Is he trying to show off? Why is it? And I guess he's in an RV or a bus or something like that with traffic. I hope he's not. I hope to God for the safety of everybody on the road, this man is not out here using cruise control while he's on Zoom. I swear, I pray to God he didn't just use cruise control and then turn around and face the camera. I pray, God, please let this not be cruise control. Please let somebody else be driving the bus while this dude is damn near naked on the Zoom, please. While he's talking about put a shirt on, dude. I just couldn't help but notice that. This man is in a wife beater talking about black people used to wear suits and ties. White people used to wear shirts, sir. I think y'all fell lower than we did.
Amongst the different races in America and return to e pluribus purum, out of many, one.
Jake, you're wearing a cross. You part of your
You can see it because he don't got a shirt on.
survival in prison was turning to the Bible, and the racial idolatry that you're talking about, and limiting, white people. We're being attacked. I'm sitting here as a black man.
Are
I
we
got
not
the
being
same
attacked,
data.
Jason? Are we not being attacked? Do you turn on your X feed
Let me-
every day and see dozens and
Jake,
dozens
let me
of
finish.
videos of white people being
Jake,
attacked by black
Jake,
people? I'm asking you a
Jake,
question. Do you
Jake-
see that or not? Are
Put
you
Jake
willing
on
to
pause. Put Jake on pause. Put Jake on pause or hold. Jake, I'm not interrupting you. I'm going to let you speak for as long as you want to speak. But I get to talk on this show too. And so what you said, there's truth to what you said. But there's also this truth. This black pagan culture that has been adopted among a mass number of black people is killing and destroying far more black people than white people. That does not excuse what is happening to black people. What white people.
I'm not
But
here to address that today. I'm here to stand for my community
I
today.
got it. Put him back on pause. Let me finish my point.
The black on
My
black
point
violence is an
is,
epidemic.
could we mute him for a second?
Do you see how unhinged this dude is? First off, it's bad when damn it, Jason Whitlock got to cut you off. When Jason Whitlock got to cut a white man off, it's bad. Every single time Jason start talking, no, white men and black people, man. This dude's unhinged.
Saying that I'm more likely to be harmed by this pagan culture, far more likely than you. And so when you have a white rally, which is unbiblical, these problems aren't defined this way in the Bible. There's a history of human beings adopting pagan cultures that are self-destructive. And so when you wear the cross and portray yourself as a Christian, but you come up with non-Christian solutions, is disconcerting to me. And so now I will let you respond to that. Take as much time as you want.
I haven't offered any solutions here. I have not.
And they keep saying pagan. What are they talking about? Exactly. What is pagan that we're doing in the black community? Exactly. What are we doing that's pagan in the black community that white people are not doing 10 times? What are we doing exactly? They're not saying that. They just keep saying pagan.
Not offered any solutions yet. The solution that we're looking for, the reason why this protest is happening, is we are demanding that the killer, Carmelo Anthony, is put behind bars immediately. Jason, I have a very deep connection to this issue. I spent 1,467 days as a January 6th political prisoner. I have no criminal record. I was never offered bond. I tried 3 times. They never gave me bond. I put up millions of dollars in the household property, in cash value, and I never got bond. I spent 900 days solitary confinement. There is a discrepancy, an unequal application of the law, a selective prosecution happening to white Americans right now. If the black American community can understand 60, 70 years ago what was happening to them in the down south, where the judges and the juries were being inordinate and being selective and making sure that they had no chance of justice, then you must recognize that same thing is happening to our community. The black young.
Okay. All right. First off, don't speak about our grief in the past tense. We're not going to speak about it like, oh, well, that used to happen back in the day. But so we should no, that still happens today. That's still going on right now. The justice system is not fixed now, is not different now, it's not unracist now, it's not unbiased now, it's not correct now. They were very open with it. Now they're just not open with it. That's the difference. It's not it's not different. And then he's speaking about they need to understand white people, we're going through this today. Sir, you spent like what, 2.5, excuse me, like what, 3 maybe years in jail for invading the capital of the United States of America. If that's not the biggest slap on the wrist I've ever seen, you will spend more time in prison for drinking and driving in certain places. If you crash and you're drunk and drive, you got a DUI. You'll spend more time. They invaded the Capitol, and within a single election season, presidential election term, they were out and paraded like heroes. Okay, yeah, no, that's not the same. Talk about blacks went through it before, so they should understand that we're going through it now. Okay.
Men that are perpetrating violence on white men and white women across this country are in a revolving door of bail. In New York City, where I am from, and now I'm living in Florida, there is a bail reform act that literally puts killers, robbers, rapists, and all of these black violent perpetrators back on the street to.
Notice killers, robbers, all of this, and all these black violent. Well, sir, these crimes are not black crimes. These are just crimes. But notice how he said a bunch of crimes, and then he's just going to say black people.
Is happening to our community. The black young men that are perpetrating violence on white men and white women across this country are in a revolving door of bail. In New York City, where I am from, and now I'm living in Florida, there is a bail reform act that literally puts killers, robbers, rapists, and all of these black violent perpetrators back on the street to perpetrate more violence on a predominant amount of white people. This is insane. We need to address the issues at facial value. We can't tiptoe around this thing. We need to call, as a member of my community, now the black community, for even allowing this type of culture to pervade you guys. You need to deal with black on black violence on your own, but you also need to say, we are perpetrating violence against white people in mass. They are not safe in the country where they are the predominant race and heritage and culture. And this is not true. We are being very
Y'all the predominant race, heritage, and culture in America? Really? What is white heritage? Anybody, real quick. What is white heritage? What is white culture? Okay, all right.
basically the white people in America have been quiet and been very patient for a very long time. And this is the first time there is an anti-white violence rally ever in America that I can name that has no ties to KKK or anything. I'm Jewish and I love my black friends and I love you, Jason, with all my heart. You are my Christian brother. We are in the body of Christ, but it is up to you and the members, the Little Gunna and Little Ty Savage and all these rappers. They are perpetrating violence with the culture they are spreading against my people that I represent. And I'm here today to make a stand. Actually, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central at Kai Kendall Stadium, the place where Metcalf's blood is still fresh on the bleachers. Tomorrow in Frisco, Texas at 11 a.m., we will be praying in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. We will be advocating for white safety, for white people to protect themselves against the violence that is being perpetrated against us. And of course, we will be addressing the issue of the violent gang culture that has basically usurped the entire black ideology in America, and calling upon our black brothers to stand with us and to extricate, to drive that out, to condemn that culture by and large, which I know you do, but it needs to be said, not just in a general statement. It needs to be said, the actual results of that culture are being not just perpetrated black on black violence. You can look at that statistic all day. I'm here as a representative of my community. I'm saying enough is enough. Enough black violence on white people in America.
Okay. Enough is enough. Enough black violence on white people. Before we play, because he had his event, and we're going to show you how that went. Before we do that, shout out to YGLTB1 again for the $20 super chat, saying, what degenerate music was this white supremacist FSU shooter, Dylan Roof, Peyton Gendron, etc. were they listening to when they pew innocent people going their daily lives? And that's a very good question. Because if music is the cause for this degenerate culture, and they keep trying to make it seem like white people don't listen to hip hop, which is very, very not true. If music is the reason, then they need to be listening to something way worse than what we're listening to, because the damage that they do is way worse than what black people do. It's a very good question. But let me show you how the event turned out. So they did have their event. They did have their little event. And when I say little, I do mean little. It was a little mini event. They had it. All right. This is it.
And my white friends, where they've been put down, they've been treated like trash just because they're white. And there's so many people say, oh, it's not true, it's not true. It is true. I see it day after day, month after month, year after year, and I'm tired of the anti-white.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was. I'm not trying to make fun of people with disability. I don't know what.
See it day after day.
I know y'all gonna be asking what was man. I don't know what that is. Okay, they sitting up there talking about white lives matter. This man is overdosing. Y'all don't care about white people. This man is overdosing on fentanyl right now. He got a meth and fentanyl infusion going on right now. Look at him.
Day,
what is this?
Month after month, year after year.
Why is it, I mean, this man is, he's spraying wide open.
Why is it? Day after day, month after month, year after year. And I'm tired of the anti-white.
I mean, this man is, he's spraying wide open. Why is it, I mean, this man is, he's spraying wide open. Why is it, he's spraying wide open. Why is it, he's spraying wide open. He is spread. This is a flexible white man right here. Damn, I know that position must not be comfortable. I don't know what he's doing.
Day, month after month.
And they just don't.
See it day after day.
I mean, he leaned back.
I see it day after day.
And he has a book bag.
Day, month. It's not true. It is.
Hold on, look. I want you to see him drop. Like he heard him. He's standing right there. Look at him stand. Look at him. And then the second he start, I think he praying. I don't know what he doing.
True, it's not true. It is true. I see it day after day, month after month.
This is scary to me. Is this pagan worship? Is this how they worship the pagan gods? I don't think this is very Christ-like. This looks like pagan worship to me. This is unfamiliar with me. I'm not sure what this is. He was standing normal, then he just got possessed by the pagan spirit or something. I can't tell.
It's not true. It's not true. It is true. I see it day after day, month after month, year after year, and I'm tired of the anti-white racism. I'm tired of the anti-white hate. I'm tired of the anti-white violence.
And he's just gonna stand back up. Like, okay, I don't know what. Okay, he could just gonna stand back up like that was just some normal stuff to do. Okay.
I will stand on top of a damn bus and scream that we are going to end this shit right now. Woo! Yeah! That's my brother Philip Anderson. Philip Anderson is a January 6th patriot and my white friends. Where they've been put down, they've been treated like trash just because they're white. And there's so many people say, oh.
Okay. As y'all can see, that parking lot was empty. It was empty. But it got worse because not only did nobody show up, they had a phone call with Jeff Metcalf, Austin Metcalf's father. Listen to this.
Why can't you stand that and say with that? Maybe you can. Would you be willing to stand by me in a press conference or in an individual interview and talk about this issue that is larger than Austin at this point? God rest the beautiful young man's soul that would have been one of our strongest voices if he was still alive today. Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, I'm not trying to speak. You are part of the fucking problem, my friend. You're trying to create more race divide than bridging the gap. I do not condone anything you do. You do not have any fucking...
That's called white guilt.
No, let it talk. My son, let me finish. I gave you your time. You take my son's face off your website. I am not associated with you.
You're creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness, sir. You are creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness.
You are being weak. I gotta be honest with you about that, sir.
You're being weak. Condemn.
Now you see that black guy? His name is what's his name? Philip Anderson. Okay. Just keep that in mind. Just keep Philip Anderson in mind because we're gonna get to him. We're gonna get to Philip in a little bit. Just remember that name.
Condemn your son's killer and the culture that caused it.
Hey, Jeff.
That's the problem. You've been submitted.
Hold on, hey, Jeff.
You've been submitted.
I'll handle it from here.
You've been submitted, sir.
You're not gonna make
If
this
we were
Okay, cool. So this messes up their whole thing because they want to use Austin as a rally. Remember I was saying that the KKK used to use that, like stuff like white people are being attacked. And they want to use Austin as this white people are being attacked by the blacks and the blacks are out for revenge. But what messes that whole thing up is because they can't really rally without the family backing them up. They can't do that. It looks like, well, it is actually. them using somebody's deceased son for their own ideological and political gain. It is them exploiting somebody else's death. Instead of them using somebody's death as a rally for justice without the family's permission, you're just really exploiting that person's death, which is why they need the dad. They need the dad, right? But the thing is that the dad he understands that if he first off, he has it, but if he co-signs or allows his son's name to be attached to this alt-right, pro-white, super national, racist, bigot stuff, it's going to taint how the public views his son and his entire family. So he can't allow them to essentially exploit his son's death like that. I'm not saying that Jeff Metcalf is a great man, because Jeff Metcalf is not sitting up there. He's not condemning all of the death threats that's been going on to he's not condemning the death threats going on to the Austin family. He's not doing that. He's not doing that. But he knows damn well that would be a terrible decision. It would be an absolutely terrible decision for me to allow the death of my son to be tied to white supremacists, and my son or my family's name to be associated in any way with this ongoing investigation to white supremacy, and let his son's death be exploited. So he's not going. He's not going for that. Let me get to the other super chat. Vovo, he says he was making fun of them. I guess. I don't know what it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe he was. Maybe he was making fun of him. Interesting way to do that. Looked like he was having an overdose to me. But after that message, after Austin's dad said that, let me tell y'all something. They sit up there, called this man everything but a child of God. They were out here calling him a damn nigger lover and all of that stuff. Look at this. Okay. This man, and this is one of many. This is one of many. It says, a black teenager killed his son. He immediately forgave him. Then he took a black handler from a black interest organization. Then he shouted from the rooftops that it's not about race. Then he showed up to pray with the family of the black murderer. He did not show up. They didn't meet at church. He didn't show up to pray with them. Look, he showed up to pray. Okay, sure, yeah. The black family immediately threw him out. An anonymous anti-white accepted oh, Lord, listen to this. And anonymous anti-white attempted murderers had his house swatted later that day. Now, a lot of people saying his house has been swatted. I can't confirm or deny that as of right now. But let's say it is. How was that anti-white? We don't know that. I mean, we don't know. We don't know. They keep bringing race into everything. It continues to say, then in his first expression of anger since his white son was stabbed to death by a black teenager, he called the white guy who organized a rally against black on white violence at the location of his son's murder a white piece of trash. He did not call him that. It says, this is the face of white weakness. That's what they were calling him. They were saying he was weak. They were saying this is white weakness. You're a traitor. You are weak. You need to stand with the race. He's saying this is a product of a lifetime of anti-white, colorblind indoctrination. I thought y'all bragged about being colorblind. I thought that was y'all thing. Y'all love being colorblind. that we should all be colorblind and race shouldn't matter. Now being colorblind is, well, I guess being colorblind if you're not white. Oh, okay. All right, okay. Then he says, this is the mindset that will enable our enemies to erase us from the face of this planet. This is the sickness from which we must be cured. This is the sickness for which we must be the cure. Oh, okay. They calling this man a whole nigga lover. They calling him a whole nigga lover. Okay. Hold on. We're not done. We're not done. Hold on. Let's look at this one. Let's look at this one. Okay. Now they quoted what he says. That's all they are, race baiters. Jeff Metcalf told the Post, effing people want to spew their narrative for their own agenda. They don't give a crap about my family, about Carmelo's family. They want the superintendent. Okay. So they're saying he's calling out people for exploiting his son's death. Boy, when I tell you, listen, look at what they was calling this man. They was out here gunning for this man. Hold on. They sitting up there. Excuse me. Saying white people care for white people equal. White people caring for white people equal. Awful people don't give a S about his family. Carmelo Anthony murders your son in cold blood equals an accident and nowhere near as bad as being racist. Okay. He didn't even say it was an accident. Look at this. Whites in America are suffering from the collective Stockholm syndrome. They feel compelled to defend blacks at any cost. Also, the white piece of trash that orchestrated the protest is actually Jewish. Oh, Lord, y'all not even going to do that. Y'all not going to see that thing. And that's why he kept saying that to Jason Whitlock. So, you know, he kept saying that to Jason Whitlock. So that way he can say, well, hold on. Technically, I'm technically Jewish. I'm Jewish technically. Oh, he's technically Jewish now. Okay. I realize people don't understand the difference nor the significance. Tell me if there's a difference. Because if it's a white Christian man, he's a white Christian Jewish man making a pro-White Lives Matter protest. What is the difference then? What if he was British versus Jewish? What would be the difference if he's spewing anti-black lies and making a protest to rally white people in anger against false lies and slanders against black people that is harmful to black people? What would be the difference? But listen, they going in. That Frisco protest was major cringe. Okay, so they're saying it's cringe, but you think the organizers would be eligible for the same Christian forgiveness that was instantly extended to the murderer? That first off, it wasn't instantly extended, but anyway. Oh, look at this. To the Metcalf father, F you. Okay. We eventually care more about this than you do. Oh, okay. They're saying F the dad. Okay. Is this not white on white violence? They turning against the dad now. Look at the way they turning against the dad for saying, hey, don't tie my son to this white supremacist nonsense y'all got going on. They say F you. Oh, come on. There's more. Remember, kids, being racist is far worse crime than murdering someone's son. Okay. Oh, look at this one. Jeff Metcalf is an anti-white scumbag nigger. Oh, wow. Oh, he's a anti-white scumbag nigger. Oh, wow. Okay. What happened to y'all sticking together now? Wait, y'all supposed to be the ones setting the example for us? Y'all supposed to be the ones setting the example for us. Y'all not setting a good example now. Y'all flipped on this man real fast. Hold on. Oh, we still got more. What a effing cunt. your son gets murdered and all you do is berate your own race. Jeff Metcalf can F off to Africa too. Oh, God. Oh, God. They telling him we got to go to Africa now. Oh, wow. Ooh. All of this white on white violence. I just can't deal with it, man. I can't deal with it. This white on white crime got to stop. Somebody got to put a stop to this. This is not right. This is not just. This is not the way we supposed to be doing stuff. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now, remember what I told you about Philip Anderson. This is what Philip Anderson had to say. Okay? This is the same Philip Anderson. Jeff Metcalf's dad is a coward for, more PG ears. But y'all see the word. He didn't hear a single word that was said at the protest, but he condemned it because his black friend called him and told him to condemn it. All we did is say that anti-white racism, killing white people and making joke of white people being killed is wrong. That's not all you said at all. But anyway, but we can't help people that are going to be so weak and quick to fold. Regardless, we are going to keep pushing to end anti-white racism, even though no one else has the balls to put on a protest for it except us. Okay, so he's a coward. Okay. Damn. All right. That's an interesting thing to say about somebody's father. Now, didn't y'all tell us? Weren't y'all the ones telling us that him getting kicked out of a press conference was mean and wrong, and all he wanted to do was pray? What happened to all that? What happened to that was mean and wrong, and he just wants to pray and love it? What happened to that? What happened to that now? What happened to that? So, looking at more information, show you Exhibit A about Mr. Philip Anderson. Okay. People did a little background research on him. They said they were born in America. Oh, here he goes. I was born in Africa. I am adopted. Okay. Exhibit A. Okay. Exhibit B. He says, I am an African immigrant. What J.D. Vance is saying is true regardless of how we feel about it. Oh. Do we need more? Not really, but we will do it anyway. Exhibit C. Oh, hold on. Let me zoom in. Hold on now. Hold on. Wanted to show more support for Austin Metcalf, the white kid who was murdered today. But racist idiots hiding their identity and blaming me for what some American-born black racist moron did when I was born on the other side of the planet and my parents are white. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is who they got there. This is who they got on their little bus. That's the guy. That's Philip Anderson right there. As you can see right here, is clear as day. That's Philip Anderson. Philip Anderson is an African immigrant. He said so himself. Now, y'all know me. Y'all know I do not go out there and I don't spread any misinformation. I don't say somebody's a tether unless I can confirm that they are. Even though I had a very high suspicion. A very, very high suspicion that he was. It was like 99%. I just needed proof to confirm it, and I had proof. Thank you for the brother tagging me in that, because I was tagged in that. I didn't even have to do the research myself. It was already done. So, yeah. Okay, so this is somebody, and this is what they do. This is what they do, right? So you'll have someone who claims that he's part Jewish, okay, but he's a Christian. All right. And an African immigrant. And they will use this as a defense, like, hold on, how are you saying it's racist? I'm not even a white person. I'm a part of the Jewish community. And then they'll be all, but there was a black guy there. How is it? We're not anti-black. I have a black friend. I want you guys to understand. Anytime they say, well, I have a black friend, 9.99999 times out of 10, it's one of these guys. It's one of these guys fresh off the damn boat. Not even a plane, a boat. Fresh off the boat. That's what these guys are. That's exactly what these guys are. Now, I gotta say it because it's the truth. Everybody knows it's the truth. Now, when we say, okay, well, you know what? We're seeing too many of these people come over here. So as far as all this pro-immigration and Pan-African stuff and all of that stuff, we cool as FBA. We cool on that. We good. We good. Because when we got a case of Austin, Metcalf, and Carmelo, and we sit up there trying to bring about justice for the situation, fairness and righteousness for the situation, and defend something which was an unfortunate case of self-defense for Carmelo, we got African tethers coming over here and they're siding with white supremacists against us. That's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. So when we say they come over here and they undermine us, everybody wants to get all up in arms like, what are you guys saying? That's not true. Y'all just making lies and propaganda. No, this is the proof. This is exactly why all of this pro-immigration and all this people of color and all this we are all the world and all this Pan-African stuff and all this pro-immigrant stuff and that now no. You want to fix Pan-Africanism, get rid of all these tethers. How about that? How about we do that? Because this is what we've been dealing with for the longest time, and we just finally really start realizing that. So since we start realizing that, now we all like, oh, okay, all right, okay. That's cool. So we're just gonna ease off on the Pan-African stuff. We're gonna delineate. We're gonna do the delineation that was necessary, that we've been needing to do for a long time. We're gonna do the delineation. Okay, so when somebody says, "Why y'all just making this stuff up? We just making this stuff up." How? Because they always guess like, how are we undermining you guys? Exhibit A. Exhibit A. This is exactly how they're undermining us. Exactly. They come over here. He's talking about he's not even a first generation immigrant. He wasn't even born in America. He immigrated here as an adult. And he's teaming up with white supremacists. Now, there are people who are going to be all like, well, hold on, no. What about all of the black conservatives that are FBA? What about them? Okay, all right. Okay, fine. I'll give you that. But let me raise you this. Let me show you what the difference is. Because we got black conservatives who are, Sambos and Uncle Toms and all that stuff. We do. So when you bring up, well, what's the difference? Let me tell you exactly what the difference is. I will be abundantly clear, and I will close out with this statement. I will completely close out the argument, because that's what I hear all the time. Oh, well, there's coons that are FBA and y'all don't want to say nothing about them. Y'all don't want to say nothing about them. But if it's an African immigrant, y'all gonna say no. We ain't gonna even do that. We ain't gonna do that. Let me argue this. If I, as a foundational Black American, or you all as foundational Black Americans, right? If we go to Africa, let's say we went to South Africa and we started teaming up with the Elon Musk of South Africa, the colonizers of South Africa, or anywhere in the continent. And we started teaming up with the colonizers of your land and say, hey, well, hold on, we all black though. You can't say nothing about me. We all black. What would you guys say? What would you guys say if we went over there and we started teaming up with the oppressors of you guys as y'all trying to fight back against y'all oppressors, and we went over there deliberately undermining you, teaming up with your oppressors? What would your response be? What would your, and then if you said something to us, we'd be, we all black now. We all come from the motherland. No, you can't say nothing about I'm not in home. We all come from the motherland. No. I have a right to do this. You South Africans, y'all just need to take accountability. Leave apartheid in the past. Get out of your victim minds. Imagine if we did that. Imagine if we did that to them. If we went over to their land and they're fighting against oppression, they're fighting for justice and all of that stuff. If we went to the Congo and what with all of that stuff going on in the Congo right now, imagine if we went to the Congo and we was all like, y'all really got to get over this victim mentality. Y'all gotta stop with this victim. If y'all would just probably pull your pants up, probably. If you guys would probably teach your children from this culture that you're teaching your children is just so degenerate. I just can't believe it. Imagine if we did that. What would y'all say? What would y'all say? Because I can promise you guys, y'all would see the difference then. We wouldn't all be the same then. Yeah, I can promise you that much. I can promise you that. If we went over there to undermine y'all in the slightest bit, excuse me, y'all would see the difference right then and there. The same way y'all see the difference when y'all come over here. Y'all just act like there's no difference when we calling y'all BS out. When y'all behavior gets called out, then it's this, we all from Africa. But when y'all want to exclude yourselves to your own convenience, then hold on now, this is cultural, you know what I'm saying? You're not Caribbean, you're not African. Like, come on now, respect our culture. That's how y'all get. That's exactly how y'all get. Okay. All right. So if we did the same thing, y'all would have the same reaction. Promise you, that ends the argument. Right? They can't argue that. The argument is over. It's over. It's first off, they don't even want us coming over to their land unless that there's something that they can personally benefit. Now, if we go over for vacation or whatever the case is, you know, we're spending American dollars and that's helping their economy and everything. So they're benefiting from us, you know, spending vacations and stuff like that. But as far as immigrating and all of that stuff, they want to benefit. They're not even trying to let us over unless we can benefit. Ain't no dual citizenship thing that they trying to push on no mass level like that, without no crazy strings attached, without no red tape, without no crazy fines that we gotta pay. Ain't no, hey, just come over. We all family. Hey, we all family. You ain't gotta pay us and keep paying us. We all family. They ain't on that. Come on, no. All this playing we doing, we gonna stop. We ain't gonna be playing no more. We not doing that. Okay, when we go over there, it's to their benefit. Okay. So if we went over there and we undermined them, we would get ran out. So yes, it is 100% proper, and it's really our duty at this point. If we want to progress the movement, if we want to progress Black empowerment, we got to call them out. We got to call everybody out. And let me be very clear. I'm not sitting up there. I don't have double standards. Okay. You don't see me with no double standard. I don't move the goalpost for no damn body. I will call out a damn tether the same way I'm a call. I think Jason Whitlock, he might be FBA. I don't know. But I call Jason Whitlock out too. I call Jason Whitlock out, Larry Elder out, Jesse Elder, Jesse something. It's some Jesse dude. I don't know. What's his name? Jesse. It's y'all know his name. What is his name? Jesse something. Y'all gonna say it in the chat room in a few minutes. I forgot his name. Damn. But Jesse Peterson. Thank you. Jesse Lee Peterson. I'll call Jesse Lee Peterson out. You can go back on this channel. Jesse Lee Peterson, Larry Elder, when he was running for president. Okay. A whole bunch of them. A whole slew of them. You can't say I don't hold the same standard. I will call any of them out. But there's a difference. I am going to go there. There is a difference with immigrants coming over and taking advantage of the opportunity that was sacrificed for them to even get the chance to come over here. And they're using our ancestral sacrifice to exploit us. That's a very big difference. I can't hold you. That is a very big difference. If we're going to compare apples to apples, you know what I'm saying? Not that one, the damage is done differently, but the principle is different. Yes, it is different. We not going to sit up there and argue that that's the same thing. No, it's different based off the principle, because the only reason why Philip Anderson, which I can almost promise you is not his real name, just like Amru Foodie, Myron Gaines is not his real name. I can almost promise you that's not his real name. But the fact that he's able to come over here, the fact that Myron Gaines, Amru Foodie is able to come over here, and whatever the guy he used to do stuff with, Fit, whatever his name is, the fact that they're even able to come over here, it took a sacrifice from our ancestors. And the second they come over here, they get to teaming up with Nick Fuentes and Josh, whatever the guys, Josh Lang, the white dude I was just talking about, and exploiting our community for their own personal benefit. So yes, it's a very big difference. I'm sorry, but I gotta say that. Because the principle of what they're doing is different. It is, and I'm not. We're gonna stop playing this game like it's not. Yeah, we're gonna stop. Come on, even not even on the conservative side, even on the Democrat side, his name is Walter. What's his name? Walter something. Walter Weeks. Exactly. Fit from Fresh and Fit. Walter Weeks. Thank you, Alonda. Even on the Democrat side, right? You got Kamala Harris. Okay. The only reason she's even able to be in America is because of our ancestral sacrifice. Because they were not allowing non-whites, and they were not considering Indians non-whites or Jamaicans non-white. They were not considering them. The fact that she's able to come over here and then lock up black mothers for their kids skipping school, or keep black men in prison to put out forest fires in California, is because of our sacrifice that she's using for her own benefit in exploiting us. Obama signing all those Blue Lives Matter laws and everything like that while we're protesting for justice that he wanted to sit on his hands and ignore. All right. I can go down the list. The Democrat, conservative, we calling them all out. It's a very big difference. And y'all know it's a difference because the second we step foot in y'all country, y'all got to make sure we following all the rules. Okay? We can't step out of line for nothing without y'all claiming that stuff is disrespect. We was just, and I have a video I got to post on the other For the Culture channel about the whole Zulu situation. Did y'all see that? Where in New Orleans, there was a Zulu parade that a whole bunch of South Africans felt like was cultural appropriation. Start slandering FBA. I'm talking about all of us, not just New Orleans, all of us. Start saying we don't have no intelligence, don't have no education, don't have no culture. I'm slandering us. Okay? Hold on. We're going there. Let's go there. Let me pull up this picture. Let me pull it up. Hold on. Since we here, we might as well go all the way, don't you think? Let's go there. Nah, because all this game, nah, we not playing these games. Hold on, let me find it. Where's this picture at? Okay, I got it right here. Hold on, let me show it to you guys. Hold on, look at this, y'all. All right. So this was the original post. Okay. Let me zoom in because my mouse is tripping on me right now. It says, I'm seeing hundreds of South Africans disrespecting Black Americans by calling for what they think is cultural appropriation of Zulu. But y'all be quick to call FBA a cult or a hate group, though. Oh, y'all quick to say that. Now look at that. The flags in the bio. Found out there was a Zulu parade in New Orleans. Yeah, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Okay, not knowing that the Zulu in South Africa we're not trying to appropriate the Zulu in South Africa. But listen to what they had to say in response. All of them in America, by the way, but listen to what they had to say in response. Okay, look at her. So, with that flag. Here's an idea. Let's have our own I'm a nigger parade. Or maybe just rebrand the Cotton Fest to Cotton Pickin' Fest. I'll bring the cotton if y'all bring the whips. Oh, okay. All right. Y'all see that? But we the divisive ones, ain't we? Ain't we the divisive ones? Ain't we the ones separating the diaspora? Ain't we the one not bringing together the diaspora and Pan-Africanism? Oh, hold on. Here's another one. Oh, hold on. Go back to it. Damn, come on. It clicked off. Hold on. Man, damn it. That's not... Okay, hold on. Damn. Hold on for a second. I don't know why I just clicked off like that. But this one worked. Hold on. I got to actually go to my page and find it. What the hell? It's like it disappeared. Oh, okay. Okay, look at this. It's back now. It's back. I don't know what happened. Look. While we the ones sacrificing this, look. Okay. Black Americans are the worst version of Black people there is. Y'all see the flag now. Y'all see it. It's not me. Oh, we the worst version. Okay. Yeah, cotton picking fest. Y'all gonna have a cotton picking fest. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Oh, look at this one. I watched Harriet last week and felt bad for Black Americans. I take my feelings back. Oh, and that was just a few of them, y'all. That was just a few of them. Okay. All right. So y'all was talking about Pan-Africanism again. Yeah, explain to me what part of that was Pan-Africanism. Explain that to me. Okay. Because I thought delineation was wrong. I thought we was all from the motherland, right? Ain't we all from the motherland? I thought we was all from the motherland. What is this not divisive? Ain't this divisive? Is this not divisive? Hold on. Is this not divisive? What about Pan-Africanism? Ain't we all from the motherland? What is this? Okay. All right. Do y'all think that the Pan-Africanists who call out FBA left and right saying that we divisive, do y'all think they called them out? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. So when we get called, talking about cotton picking fest, making fun of Harriet Tubman, saying, oh, I take my thing back. Oh, really? Because of a Zulu parade? Oh, this lets me know y'all been feeling like this now. Okay. Because y'all not going to overreact that bad. Y'all not going to jump out the window that bad. So when I tell you, the second they think that we crossed the line, I'm talking about overkill. It is over. The second they perceive that we crossed the line, overkill, shut down, going for the jugular. Okay, no holds bar at all. Okay, anything goes if we cross their line. But yet we are supposed to sit here and allow them to come over here and team up with white supremacists to exploit us. But this is what we're supposed to allow. And if we say anything about it, it makes us divisive. It makes us divisive if we say anything about it. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. We're just gonna keep that energy. Okay. Yeah, we not going for that no more. We not going for that no more. Let me get to some of the super chats. Oh, first off, shout out to Bobby for the cash. I appreciate you, Bobby. YLG, hold on. YLGTB1 says he's already had his fronts busted out. His fronts busted out before for putting the capes on for WS. Really? Okay. Yeah, he did when he said it's not about race. They attacked the dad before, and now they're attacking the dad again. I would have thought he would have learned his lesson by now. He says a coon is a coon. Yeah, that's true. Unless you're talking about somebody else. He had his fronts busted out before. Who are you talking about exactly? I think you're talking about his dad. FBA Justice says Afro Elite just hit play dirt. Just hold on. Let me actually make this bigger. I'm minimize the screen just so I can see the other thing. It says Afro Elite just hit play dirt with that analogy. Yeah, that's true. That analogy kills it. That analogy just does it. It's over with. Because if you use that analogy, they can't argue. They can't argue, oh, it's the same thing. Y'all got people who are, it's not the same. It's really not. It's really, really not. Not when you put it in that way. It's really not. And they cannot refute that. They cannot do it. All you got to, if you want to shut them down, use this analogy. Use that analogy and you will shut them down 100% of the time, because there's no way you can say it, because what they like to do is say it's the same. And when you use that analogy, you prove to them it's not the same. And then he says we should go ahead and play tether in their land. Oh yeah. Yeah, see how they like it. See how they like it if we went ahead and did that to them. All right. Cyberdon, my brother Cyberdon says it's a new day. Oh, it's definitely a new day with a salute. It's definitely a new day. It's a new day. It's okay. FBA, all we doing now, and this is April. April's supposed to be the holy month of white supremacy. All right. And they take it L after L after L after L. Okay. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They out here looking like a bunch of losers now. Just getting embarrassed now. They don't know what to do. They're just taking L's, and I love it. I just love it. I absolutely love it. Okay? We're out here. We're locked in. Okay? They're so bothered and afraid that they see us on code. The FBA family. They see us on code. We have never collectively, because now after we've delineated and we are starting to go back and really tap into our culture, all right, and letting really the culture of justice drive us as our driving force. Now they can't do anything about it because we're too locked in. We're too on code, all right? We just on code all the way in and out. And they can't do anything about it. So that's why they're spreading all these lies and all this stuff about, oh my God, it's a genocide against white people by blacks, and the blacks are doing it and all of that stuff. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. No, that's not gonna work. And another thing is because you guys have allowed the problem to exist for such a long period of time. Y'all allowed every single black death to pretty much be acquitted by saying self-defense. Okay. All right. But here's the thing. The pendulum is going to swing back by y'all saying that, oh, Kyle Rittenhouse, self-defense. He was innocent. Self-defense, self-defense, self-defense. Okay. Even though he literally put himself in that situation and started the fight. All right. There was no need to shoot 3 people, but he did. George Zimmerman, he followed somebody against the police's orders and he shot down a child. And then he was out here signing Skittles. Jordan Neely jumped on from behind a homeless man who was starving on a subway and was called a patriot for it. Okay. All of that stuff, karma's gonna catch up with you. All of that stuff now, because you guys have bastardized self-defense, y'all can't say that self-defense can only be used for y'all, because you've allowed so much to go on, and illegitimately so, of self-defense. Now we have a legitimate case of self-defense, and y'all don't have any way to get around it, because the only way you guys can get around by saying that this is not self-defense is y'all gonna have to say that all 3 of these people are guilty. All 3 of these people are guilty. Because if you say that, for instance, Carmelo didn't fear for his life. Carmelo didn't fear for his life. You can't, it's not self-defense unless you fear for your life. Okay, well, if that's the case, then Daniel Penny is guilty, because Daniel Penny couldn't have feared for his life, because Jordan Neely didn't touch him or even say anything to him. You can't say he was guilty then. You couldn't say that. But y'all screamed up and down that Daniel Penny was innocent. And we all know he was guilty as hell. He was the only one who attacked somebody on that train. Okay? Y'all can't say, oh, well, he had a weapon and the other guy didn't. Okay, well, George Zimmerman had a weapon and he actually shot down a child, a kid, a teenager. Oh, and y'all said he was innocent, he was innocent, he was innocent, he was innocent. Oh, he wasn't supposed to be in the tent. He wasn't supposed to be in the tent. Okay, all right. Okay, well, maybe. But Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't supposed to be in that state. Why was he in that state? Oh, yes, y'all, the karma's catching up with y'all. That's y'all thing. Because y'all have allowed injustice against black people to go on for so long. Now it's karma. Now everybody's sophisticated. Everybody knows the cases. So y'all can't play these little games. So now that y'all have allowed all of this stuff to go on for so long, now we're going to stick to the book. And y'all don't get to play the I'm white and I say so out of this one. Because all of those other cases was I'm white and I say so. I'm white and I say so. Y'all can't I'm white and I say so out of this one. Oh, now we got to stick to the book now, because y'all y'all ran out of I'm white and I say so's at this point. Y'all abused that too much. Oh, y'all out of that. Excuse me. Y'all out of that. The I'm white and I say so's is gone. Oh, now we got to stick to the book, the law, and the principle and the evidence. Okay? We're not saying that a black person is just innocent because they're black. We're saying, okay, well, let's look at the situation. Let's contextualize this. Let's look at the evidence. Let's look at the law. And based off of that, then we can determine who is guilty and who is innocent. And y'all got to follow that, because y'all ran out of I'm white and I say so. Y'all ran out of that. Oh, so this is great. We are in a great position, ladies and gentlemen. We are in a great position. Shout out to the and we got the FBA judge on code. Yeah, we got the judge on code and everything like that. So shout out to her again. Hey, they mad. And they can stay mad. They can stay mad. They can stay mad all they want to. They can stay mad all they want to. Okay. Hurricane says, we've always only had us, and that's all we need. And that's true. We don't need all of that thank you very much for that. All of that Pan-African stuff. Oh no, that's for the birds. That's for the birds. We cool. We cool on all that. On all that. We cool. It's for the birds. As far as that's concerned, white supremacy is taking a big L, and they just losing their minds. They had not only did they have a struggle rally where they did all of this advertisement. He did all of that protesting, all of that advertisement, went to Jason Whitlock and all of these other channels, and ain't nobody show up. Not only did nobody show up, he got humiliated by the father. And then the father gets cursed out, which lets you know that all of this justice for Austin, we just love Austin. Nah, they don't love Austin. They don't give a damn about Austin. They don't give a damn about the Metcalf family. They don't give a damn about none of that. Clearly, they're trying to push another agenda under the veil of this is justice for Austin. Justice for Austin is a disguise for another agenda, a pro-white agenda. But the thing is that the dad can't allow that to happen. So the dad is getting in front of that. And because the dad is getting in front of that, he's a nigga lover. According to them. You're a race traitor. That's what they're calling him. It's a cold world we live in. Oh, it's cold. It's so cold. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I will say, Dad, you shouldn't. If you would have just not did what you was doing in the first, if everybody would have calmed down about this situation and not let it blow up, it wouldn't have gotten to this level. When threats were first starting to be made, Jeff Metcalf, he didn't denounce that. Jeff Metcalf didn't denounce, or I don't think even as of now, he has not denounced the threats that are made to the Anthony family. He didn't show up there to pray with them. So we're not going to sit up here and make it seem like he's a saint. Because actually, if you look at his background, the father, if you look at his background, you're going to find a whole bunch of egregious crimes that he's committed. It's a whole bunch of people looking into the dad's background, and a whole bunch of people are saying, hey, this dad is actually a problem to society. This dad is actually a menace to society. So you being called out by both sides, really. People looking up your background, calling you a menace to society for all of the things that they've pulled up on you. Damn. Okay. Hey, so that means, and I just want to let people know, that just because the dad is being called a nigga lover don't mean that he's a hero to us. Okay, let's not do that. What he do? Well, allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly because with the sensitivity of this case, I have to independently verify every single thing. It doesn't even matter if I heard it from some other channel. If they have not verified it, if I don't see them actually verifying it, I have to double check and verify that. But allegedly, people are pulling up arrest records of sex crimes, of sexual assault that the father has done. The father has been arrested for sexual assault, allegedly. And I'm going to say that because I need to independently verify that. But a lot of people saying that. So, hey, it looked like the apple don't fall out far from the tree. If that is the case, it looked like that. I don't know. I mean, do we want to promote somebody who's done such a harm to society? He's the one out here walking the streets. Carmelo is at home. He's the one out here walking the streets. Maybe, possibly, the Austin family removed him from the press conference because there was women there. And maybe the women felt uncomfortable with his presence. That might be a reason. While you guys are saying that, oh, he shouldn't have got kicked out, it could have been the women didn't want to be victimized by Jeff Metcalf. Maybe Jeff Metcalf, he was looking at somebody, he was looking at him a little bit too long, and one of the ladies felt uncomfortable and they told the authorities and he had to leave. It could have been that. Who knows? With the background people are kind of pulling up on this guy, I don't know. I mean, we should be in the community, in the business of protecting citizens, right? We should be protecting citizens from thugs. So it could have been that. Could be. But I got to independently verify that. I'm not trying to slander anybody. I'm saying what the internet is saying. I'm not saying he's doing that. I'm giving hypotheticals because we don't know. We don't know. And just like Tatum and Megyn Kelly and all of them, they have a right to theorize. I also have a right to theorize. We just don't know at this point. All right. We don't. But what we do know is that white supremacy is taking these L's, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Family, I got to go make me some more tea. All right. So I'm going to get off here. We had a pretty good stream. We were on here for a couple hours. We had a pretty good stream. All right. Despite me coughing, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for the well wishes again. Y'all follow me on my various social media platforms. That's Afro Elite on Instagram and then the Afro Elite on Twitter. Make sure y'all hit that like, please. And hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. All right. All right. If we are winning as Black Empowerment, all right, in April. All right. So y'all show them that by hitting that like button. That's what you guys got to do. Okay. I appreciate you guys very much for that. And now, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Be one to every single last one of you all. Of course, you all have a good one and y'all stay blessed.